How you doing, truckers? Are you tired of spending over $1,000 or more a month on truck stops out on the road like Flying J's, Loves, or these other independent truck stops? Then this video is for you. Maybe spending this kind of money has taken away from vacations you've always wanted to go on with your friends or your family or even by yourself. Maybe it has not allowed you to invest in stocks or index funds like Fidelity or Vanguard for your future. Whatever your case is, and you are spending this kind of money a month, unless of course we can afford it, then I'm going to give you 3 ways to stop spending this kind of money to save for your future and to live the life that you want to live as a truck driver out on the road. Just a quick disclaimer, this is just advice that I have found helpful. I'm not saying or guaranteeing that if you do these things, you're going to have a better bank account or a better lifestyle. It's up to us to implement the discipline of these tips or these tools in order for us to break habits to live better. And also, I am a truck driver myself. I've been over the road truck driving for about 5 years or so. So I know firsthand what goes on out on the road and the challenges that we face. So here is tip number 1. We need to get on a budget. I currently use the tool Quicken. You may have heard of it. And there are other softwares out there that you have to find that are catered to you. But I use Quicken. It's easy for me to track my food bill or my spending. When you don't know where your spending is going, especially on food as a truck driver, spending month per month at these truck stops at, Carl's Jr., McDonald's, all these fast food places can add up. So it's important for us to get on a budget. That's the first step. When you go into this savings process and you don't know where your money is going, it's very easy to lose track. And then by the end of the month, you do actually add up everything you spent. It's quite a lot. And so I want to help us to avoid this by simply getting on a budget. Track where your money is going for your food. Track where your money is going for your bills. Track where your money is going for savings or for things that you want to do later in your time off when you are getting off the road and you're resetting, spending time with family or friends. And again, I know there's some lone wolves out there that do not have family or friends, and I understand that. So sometimes you sometimes you want to do things on your own and just reset and refresh yourself. But I do recommend Quicken as a tool to help you track your finances because it's the easy one that I found. It's the one that it's easy to follow and enter your information. You can connect your bank accounts and automatically the transactions go in and you just go in there and categorize them. It may sound a little too difficult. Remember, when you're trying to break a habit or when you're trying to, in this case, save money, it's important to implement the tools like a budget software tool to become successful or conquer this certain situation. When I did my budget, and of course, this was for 2 people, my team partner and we were spending over $2,000 a month on food. And all of this was from Flying J, Pilot, fast food, and all this stuff adds up for 2 people, of course. But if you're a solo driver and you just cut this in half, it's approximately about over $1,000 a month if you're getting about maybe 2-3 meals a day. It still can add up when you're eating about 2-3 times a day, getting snacks, and especially sweets. I like sweets. Those things add up. And you and I both know that at these truck stops, they are marking up these items 2, 3, 4 times. And I feel that that is unfortunate because as truck drivers, we're out here, making the sacrifice, doing the job. I know that we do get rewards or percentages off, especially if you're a veteran. You do get 10% off on certain items at like Flying J. I do understand that part, and I appreciate that part because I'm a veteran myself, and I do take advantage of that. But these stores mark these items up, and it's just ridiculous. It really cuts into the budget of a truck driver when especially you are trying to survive on all your meals at truck stops. So, tip number one, find a software tool that works for you. It doesn't have to be Quicken. I just found that that is the easier one to use. It's more user friendly for me. I enjoy it, and I can already see where my money was going. It opened my eyes, and now it gave me more motivation to make a change. And what is the solution that I did in this situation to stop spending that kind of money? Well, you guessed it. I know it's easier said than done, but you bring your food. You get bread, you get stuff to make sandwiches, you get frozen foods. And if you are fortunate enough that you have a significant other that can cook for you, or if you cook yourself and you enjoy doing that, you prepare your meals, maybe you freeze them and you lay everything out and you put it in vacuum sealed bags. You bring your own snacks and food, you bring a cooker, you have a microwave, you have a small fridge. And so these are all the tools that you need to be successful over your spending bill on food out here at truck stops. And then you will begin to see, wow, I'm spending only $10 a day instead of $20 or $30 or more a day on your meals. So this is the solution to conquer and break that habit of spending money on every meal every day out here. I do understand that at the end of the day, sometimes we're tired and we don't feel like cooking. And this is why it takes an energy level. And I understand that in the truck, that the cab is a confined space. And sometimes this can keep us from cooking that day or preparing a meal because we're too tired and we want to stretch and get out of the truck. And that's fine too. But I'm talking about when you're consistent every day spending this kind of money, it really, really adds up. So get on a budget and also consider bringing your own food, buying groceries beforehand before you get on the road. So here is tip number two. Tip number two is to attach breaking the habit of spending too much money out on the road with a purpose. Now, according to my research and books that I've read and books that I've heard on Audible, because as a truck driver, that's easier to do. You can hear a book while you're driving. I have found that if you find some purpose and you connect it with trying to break that habit, you are way more likely to break that habit and be successful. Let me give you an example. So in my case, spending over $1,000 or more a month in food was keeping me from investing in a simple S&P 500 index fund, and that's on Fidelity. You can research that if you're not familiar with index funds. Experts say that that's one of the best ones to invest in long term, and you just leave it alone. I realized that I could have been putting more money into an S&P 500 index fund per week, maybe just $50 to $100 a week. That comes out to about $200 to $400 a month. And if I was spending $1,000, imagine, the money that I could have been saving long term in something like this. So I attached it to a purpose. The other thing that I attached it to was maybe I wanted to take a really nice vacation, maybe go out in the mountains and get a cabin and just get away and, maybe cook outside, barbecue, and just enjoy nature. Those are things that I like to do personally. I like to rent cabins and get away from the hustle and bustle. This allows me to reset my mind, my body, my spirit. There's calmness, there is peace. But if that's not your thing, then maybe you have another thing that you would like to do. Maybe go on a cruise, maybe do something special with your significant other, your kids, your family, or someone that you enjoy spending time with. You can see that spending this kind of money can take away from your livelihood, can take away from your future. But I know that sometimes that we don't care when we're just out here and we're just spending our money, and all that adds up. And I'm just trying to create awareness in this video and tip number two to attach a purpose to it. And so when you have that purpose attached to breaking that habit, in this case, spending a lot of money per month, then again, you become more motivated. You become more open to change. You're not as frustrated. You begin to see the changes that are happening in your bank account, in your savings, and you can see how this can create a healthier living lifestyle. And a tip within this tip, number 2, attaching a purpose, we can make it easy. In breaking habits, if the easier that we make it, the easier it is that we're going to follow that good practice. For example, in the food case, when you have your meals already prepared for the week, or even just for the day or the next day, all you have to do is warm it up. All you have to do is, grab that snack instead of buying that $2-3 candy at Pilot. You have it there ready. On your 30-minute break, you grab it, you eat, you take your time eating, and you relax a little bit, and then you get back on the road. This is making it easy to break this spending habit. So having a purpose and making it easy are two very powerful things that we can do as truck drivers to break the bad habit of spending too much money per month. What have we seen so far in this trucking discussion on trying to stop spending habits on food out on the road as a truck driver? Number 1, we said to get on a budget. I like to use Quicken. It's easy to use. And number 2, attach a purpose to it and make it easy. And this is very, very important, because if we don't do these simple things, we're going to continue the bad practice of just throwing our money away, making Flying J richer, making Loves richer, and all these independent truck stops in between. Now, this third tip that I have for us as truck drivers is this. Number 3, don't deprive yourself of treating yourself here and there. What we are not saying in this entire discussion in trying to break bad spending habits is to deprive yourself of taking yourself out to eat or going out to eat with your family or your partner. That's not what we're saying. We want to enjoy the fruits of our labor. And of course, in the old school days, maybe we had parents that worked hard. Maybe we had parents that were in these kind of jobs where it was hard labor. And as my mom always said, enjoy the fruits of your labor, because this is your labor. This is the hands that you work with. This is the energy that you put into the world in a positive way. And as truck drivers, we are very important people in making the world and the goods turn. And so set aside a time that makes sense, that you can afford, that you can enjoy. If that's once a week that you go out to eat to a nice restaurant, if that's once a week that you do something nice, I personally believe that we need to do that so that we can enjoy the fruits of our labor. Because if we're out here just, being too stingy with our money, if we're out here being too stubborn that we're not going to spend down to the very penny, of course, you can get great success with that, and probably even better what I'm saying here. But what I'm really trying to say is just enjoy yourself where you know that you're going to receive a fulfillment and enjoyment of that. So this third tip that we are talking about, to treat yourself, to give yourself time to do something enjoyable, is important, because what could happen if we did not do this? What I think could happen is that we build resentment towards the goal or the habit that we are trying to break. We build anger or frustration because we cannot be successful over the habit. And so because we are depriving ourselves, we get in a bad mood, we get grumpy. And you can see the dynamic that this would create if we just simply give ourselves or allow ourselves time to enjoy the fruits of our labor. To summarize this and wrap it all up, these are the 3 tips, once again, to be successful over our spending habits. And that is, number 1, to get on a budget. Number 2, to attach a purpose and make it easy to break that habit. And number 3, don't deprive yourself in enjoying the fruits of your labor. If you enjoyed this discussion, all I ask in return is to simply like the video. Also, subscribe if you think that you would enjoy future discussions like this as a truck driver. Again, I'm an active over the road truck driver, and I help truck drivers in their personal development. And also, I apply these things to myself as well to be successful out here on the road. And so, if you like content like this, simply give it a like. It does go a long way. And also, consider subscribing in order to enjoy future videos like this and in order to share these messages with other truck drivers that may need to hear them.